So, Joe,
right in line.
I'm sure you didn't really see much of the Commanders-Jets controlled scrimmage or whatever the hell they call it.
The Mud Bowl?
Yeah, they only showed a few minutes of it. The reports were kind of mediocre. I guess I'm trying not to get too crazy about it. Everyone is raving about Jayden, though. I mean, my God, and I'm so excited. I agree with everything coming out. I mean, it's getting to the point where even though it's so positive, you're starting to think, well, it must be true. I mean, this kid, I think we finally got somebody, Joe.
I agree. I've had a chance to be around him. I've watched him practice. He checks every box that you want for a young man to play that position. I mean, first, I talked about this the other day to somebody. It was the absolute must choice for the Commanders to get him with that pick. Nothing else would have satisfied the fans. Absolutely nothing else would have satisfied the fans. Totally understand that. And then you watch his work ethic, and then you talk to the coaches, and you see how he applies himself. And just his demeanor is very, very even-keeled. I mean, all the things that you're looking for is, I think, special in that regard. And that's why he was drafted where he was. That's why he was a Heisman Trophy winner. And I like the fact that he was at Arizona State, then transferred to LSU. Now, it's two different kinds of offenses. Now he comes into the pros. It's another offense, but yet he's already gone through offensive changes. So he's a little bit ahead of the curve instead of somebody that might have been someplace for a number of years.
What about his arm talent do you like? Because we know he's an exceptional athlete. We're hearing that he's great at processing. He's big into studying. He's into virtual reality. He gets up at 5:30 in the morning, whatever. He's had a quarterback coach since he was 10, 11 years old. What jumps out at you when you see him throwing the football?
I always look at how smooth the delivery is. Is it labored? Is there a herky-jerky movement to it? He's got a great smooth release. And to me, that means that you're processing what you see. Obviously, when the games start, and we'll get a better idea tomorrow night, with the limited amount I'm sure he's going to play, but at least he'll get under center and, communicate to the huddle exactly what needs to be done. Those are the little things that have to get, the boxes have to get checked. It'll be a little bit like a regular season game just because somebody else is on the other side in live action. But he gets the ball out of his hands and he processes very well. And he's smart. To me, I got my fingers crossed that we've got another C.J. Stroud. A young man that has athleticism but doesn't place that above his ability to throw the football. Throwing the football is number one. Making plays with your legs is number two. Now, how do you find a balance? Because I was that runaround kind of quarterback. So where do you find the balance to be able to stay disciplined enough in a pocket to do what you need to do, or when things flash, you take off? Now, in college, let's face it, in college, when he lined up and played anybody, he was probably, the first or second best athlete on the field. Well, at LSU was a little bit different because he had some really good receivers too. But, you're in that group that really are better athletes. That's not the case at this level. This level, you have to play with your head. You have to be smart. You have to protect yourself. Somebody asked me the other day, what are you expecting to see from Jayden? I want to see him play 17 football games and hopefully more. But I want to see him line up every week so that he can practice and play and get better, because that's the only way you get better. You can't go out like Anthony Richardson, for example. Basically, this is his rookie season again. He foundationally is starting over. He doesn't have any film of himself to sit and study and say, okay, I need to do this better. I shouldn't have put the ball there. I think studying what you're doing is important because you know what you're thinking when you're studying the film. There's a difference between looking at film and studying film, too.
Joe, how much further along is Jayden as a passer than RG3 was as a rookie at this same spot?
I think he's a little bit further ahead. RG is a great athlete, and I think it was something that they were going to work on a little bit. His delivery was a little bit different, and you can have different deliveries. And RG got the ball out of his hand very well. But I think Jayden is, I think he's a little bit ahead of where RG was as far as throwing the football goes.